What's up, cuties? It's me, ya boy, OHhuntee. I'm back again with a Sims and Stories video. Now, if you're new to the channel, Sims and Stories is where I tell a story as I create Sims just for fun or for a challenge. Now, since the Sims 4 High School Years expansion pack is coming out, I have been doing the Dizzy Sims challenge, where it's a teenaday where you have a prompt for a sim type and you have to create it. So I had fun in the last video, so I got asked to do some more. So here we go with sim number 2. It is the Rebel sim. So I'm going to start creating my version of a Rebel sim. Today's story is brought to you by a subscriber named Kalailu47. And Kalailu has chosen to write the Rebel story for this week, entitled Douglas, Oh Douglas. Here we go. 9:30 in the morning. Class is about to begin. It's first day since summer break. We're all coming back again. It's nice. It's a nice day outside. Hopefully they'll allow us to go outside to have partial of the class. I heard that Mr. Abernathy was a friendly teacher who often taught his classes outside. I wonder if he'll let us do that today. 9:34. The bell dings. Mr. Abernathy walks from the back of the room past my desk and tells me, "Hey, would you mind starting introductions just to get the ball rolling?" I said, "Not a problem." Mr. Abernathy walks up to the front of the room. I get up behind him and turn and face the class. "Hi, my name is Casey." The room falls silent. They all stare at me. Mr. Abernathy looks at me and says, "I meant after I do introductions. Please have a seat." Defeated and embarrassed, I slump back in my seat. I hear a little bit of giggles from my classmates. Day 1, and I'm already the weird girl. Welcome, students, to the first day of Chemistry 101. I'm your teacher, Mr. Abernathy. Before we get started into the course rhetoric and the syllabus, we're going to go down the list to make sure you guys are all here. That is one of the things that is important to me, is the time and the attendance. So, let's get started. Mr. Abernathy starts down the list, calling generic names like Derek, Anna, Sarah, multiple times because there are multiple people with that name in this class. It gets to me, Casey. I raise my hand as to not embarrass myself any further and draw attention to, hey, that was the girl that was up there trying to introduce herself to everyone. What a weirdo. Casey. As I look around the room, I see that the class is completely full. Mr. Abernathy seems like he's a great teacher. I do notice that the desk right in front of mine is empty. Could this have been an oversight? Do we have an odd number of students? As Mr. Abernathy keeps calling roll, he gets to a name, Douglas. Douglas? Everybody looks around the room. The room is silent. Douglas. Mr. Abernathy calls again. No response. Mr. Abernathy shakes his head. Here we go. He makes a little check mark next to Douglas' name on his pad. Where could Douglas be? What is Douglas like? Is he late? Is he new to the area? Maybe he's having trouble finding his class. The high school is pretty big. And Mr. Abernathy has everyone go around the room and say one thing about themselves. When it gets to me, I stand up, and before I can even open my mouth, there's a knock at the door, and then a burst through the door. In steps this well-dressed teacher. "Hi, I seem to have found one of your students hanging around in the hallway." Next to him, a boy, well, I should say a young man, practically, with peach fuzz facial hair, curly black locks, and a nice smooth leather jacket, steps beside them and into the room. Well, if it isn't Douglas, nice to see you again. Nice to see you again. Does this mean that Douglas knows Mr. Abernathy? Why does he know him? What connection could they have? Yeah, well, I'm not excited to be here again either, says Douglas. Oh, it looks like Douglas has taken this class before. Did he fail? I'm not sure. Douglas walks past Mr. Abernathy and finds the open desk in front of me. I try not to make eye contact as I don't want to start any issues with him. He sits down, and in the huff, I smell his cologne. It smells like a strong masculine smell. It tickles my nostrils. It's a little bit overbearing, but also a nice smell. His hair shimmers in the fluorescent lights that are in this classroom. Looks like butter. Smells like butter. As he sits, Mr. Abernathy motions to me to continue introducing myself. I seem to start talking towards Douglas instead of to the rest of the class. And everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. One girl asks, "Can you speak louder?" I turn around. I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I've continued introducing myself, talking about where I'm from, what school that I've attended in the past, and how I look forward to the next school year. As I sit down, Douglas turns around and looks at me. I look back at him. That was a lame story. You practically did nothing for this entire summer. I shrug in my seat. But that's okay. Maybe you should hang out with me sometime. Oh, wait, what? He's just inviting her, like, okay. I nod in agreement. But also, is he telling the truth? Would someone like him want to hang out with someone like me? Maybe this could be the start of a beautiful friendship. Or something much, much more. All right, well, that's basically the end of the story. So basically, this girl, Casey, feels awkward, but in steps, tall, dark, and handsome Douglas to, sweep her off her feet. Well, thank you for the story. I kind of want to know, what's going to happen between Douglas and Casey? What is going to happen next? You never know who you're going to meet at school. So, always good to keep an open mind. So if those of you who aren't aware from my previous video of, Simpsons story, I tried to loosely make the Sims look like the characters from the stories that I'm giving. Like I say, loosely, because sometimes if I get an idea in my head, I'm going to go with that rather than try to make it around the story. So, yeah, but that's totally cool. All right. And if you would like to submit a story for an upcoming video, please do. You can find me on Instagram or leave a comment down below with your story in there, and I will make sure to feature it in the next Sims and Stories video. I like doing these, so please do. Please let me know. So here is the finished look here. We have Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome with curly. He's a rebel. Now, I'm trying to think of a rebel. He's kind of a bad boy type, loner that is unflirty, but he also, doesn't care. And everybody's all the girls seem to love him, but he's just kind of aloof off in his own world. So, yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. This was fun, and I can't wait till we do the next video. Don't forget to smash that like button and turn on notifications and subscribe so you'll know when the next Simpson story video comes out. All right, I love ya, and you take care, hunties. Okay.